All right, Coach Treigh Sullivan, you've had a couple days to let this one sink in. A huge win. Let's don't mince words. On Friday, you come from way back. You get the win in overtime. Tell me all about it.
It was a huge win for us. We were down 14-0. Richland Northeast came to play. Our kids had a case of the big eyes being over there at Harry Perone, and they had some good-looking kids, and they came out and hit us in the teeth, to their credit, and we're playing really good football early. But this is a resilient group, and we came back and made it 14-7, and then they scored again and made it 20-7, and then we scored right before the half, made it 20-14, and our kids started to believe a little bit. Made some adjustments at halftime on defense and cleaned some stuff up on offense, and really played a great second half. Goes into overtime, and they scored. I think early the first play from overtime, and their kicker misses the extra point, so that gives us a little bit of hope. And I think it was 29-23 at that time. Avery Armstrong kind of takes over in the extra period right there and scores on fourth down. Just a great play. Wasn't going to be denied. And then we were fortunate enough to get the extra point to go in and win 30-29. But it's a huge win for us. We my first game here 5 years ago, we took a beating over there. And those guys played 4A football last year, and they got some really good football players, and they're a well-coached team. So the way that it happened and the type of team that it is, it was just big for our program. So
I want to ask you, because I know the answer to this, but that score 4 years ago, which was your first game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 63-6.
You guys have come a long way.
We have, and it was kind of sweet to be able to even play with those guys the other day and then come up and win, because Coach Fry is a really good coach, and they got good football players, and I know they've had some bad fortune with wins and losses this year, but they're a good football team, and it's a really good win for our program.
You guys are 6-1, heading down the stretch,
Right.
starting with Camden on the road.
Right.
Any concern? Because look, Dreher hadn't been 6-1 in a long time. Dreher hadn't been this good in a long time, and these kids know it. I mean, they're kids they go to school with. Suddenly, they're a little more popular than they were maybe a couple weeks ago. Any problem with this group trying to keep them grounded, or do you think that that's not the kind of team this is?
No, and I do a pretty good job as their coach to keep them humbled and focused. But no, I don't think so. We got some leaders, 7 or 8 guys that we kind of put in charge of that, and that's not the case at all. We had a good meeting today and watched the film from Friday night, and we won't let that happen. We're not going to be complacent. And you've missed the playoffs here the last 2 years, being the 4 seed. So we know the big thing, and this is not a cliche, we just got to keep getting better. Wins and losses will take care of themselves, but we got to find ways to keep getting better.
The big dog, leading rusher, leading tackler, leading you name it, Lorenzo Ward was out.
Yeah, he was.
This past week with a high ankle. You think he'll be back on Friday, but back to Friday, Avery had to take on even more responsibility. Sure. And as you were telling me, he passed that test with an A+, 23 for 185, right. 4 touchdowns on the ground, another 117 passing. But more than anything, you said you were proud of the way he led.
He did, and that's a lot of touches for a quarterback. And I didn't know where to go, because Zoe carries those 23 times usually for us. But he wanted the ball, and he wasn't going to be denied or let his team lose. And there was no other number, and Richland Northeast knew it was going to be called on that last play, and he wasn't going to be denied. And I'm just really proud of him. He's such a competitor, good athlete, good football player, and bigger than anything, he's a winner. I mean, that guy was not going to be denied. So proud of him, proud of all of them.
Well, Coach, congratulations. That's obviously a huge win that hopefully will catapult you guys the rest of the way.
We hope so.
And best of luck to you over in Camden on Friday, and can't wait to talk to you next week. Keep it up, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming out.